First pick sees second place Manchester City playing host to 7th place Sunderland, and Man City, they managed to win their most recent game against Leeds. The citizens dominated the first 45 minutes and were well worth their 2-goal leads with thanks to Foden and Gvardiol. However, complacency definitely crept in for City. As we can see from the numbers, Leeds managed to work their way back into the game in the second period. The away side won out in every major win predictor statistic, so perhaps it was no surprise when Calvert-Lewin converted following a defensive error, and then Nmecha got the leveller. When his penalty was saved, he managed to tap in the rebound. And it appeared for the longest time that Leeds had completed a successful comeback and rescued a point from a losing position. However, Phil Foden would pop up once again in stoppage time for his second and Man City's third of the game for a 3-2 final scoreline. In terms of form, that win for City means it's 3 victories in the last 4, and when we take a look at their home form, Man City are one of the best sides in the division. They've won each of the last 6 home games, which is actually enough for the number 1 spot in the Premier League when we filter by home form. They host a Sunderland side who showed tremendous resilience in their last match against Bournemouth to win by 3-2. Adil and Adams got the Cherries 2-0 clear within 15 minutes in a first half which was dominated by the away side. Enzo Lefay's penalty in the 30th minute gave the Black Cats something to hang on to going into the second period, and then just a single minute into that second half, Traore levelled the scores up at 2-2. At this point, momentum had thoroughly swung towards Sunderland's favour, and that momentum would carry them through when Brian Brobby scored the decisive goal of the game with 20 minutes to spare. 3-2 to Sunderland, the final score. In terms of form, that comeback win for Sunderland did end a 3-game streak without a win. However, on a positive note, the Black Cats have only lost 1 of the last 6 Premier League games. When we filter by away form, they've won 2 and lost 2 of their last 4 road matches. When we take a look at the head-to-head record, the last match between these sides took place in March of 2017. Manchester City won out 2-0 with goals coming from Aguero and Leroy Sané. Longer term, however, City have won each of the last 6 matches in a row. They're also unbeaten in the last 7 encounters. My prediction for today's game is that there's no doubt that Sunderland have been a real surprise package this year, but they're facing a Manchester City side who are altogether a different beast. Man City are strong at home, and they've picked up points to close the gap to Arsenal. They've also got a great record against the Black Cats as well as at home, so all signs here are pointing to Man City to win the game, and I'm going to be backing them for a full stake here in bet number 1.